Okay, what I'd like to do is start by asking two hypothetical questions, and I want you to think about it before you answer. Let's suppose that you have a 1989 Porsche, and you're taking it to Joe's garage on the corner, and the best he can come to working on anything similar to that would be a 75 Pacer. Would you want him to do the work on your car? No, I don't think so. Okay, let's also say that you are about to go in for open heart surgery, and your doctor just gotten off a very harried 18-hour shift, and he's looking at probably another 18 hours before he can go home and get some sleep. You want that doctor cutting into your chest? No, probably not. So, not wanting to compare, certainly not wanting to compare the job that we do to the job of a surgeon, maybe on a lesser scale the job we do to the job of Goober here. We face kind of the same pressures in our jobs with TPF&C. We are constantly in a need for current information on the jobs that we do, and we're also under a lot of stress. And the combination of the two sometimes, or combination of the two or lack of the two, can have a negative effect on the job that we do. So what I'd like to propose is something in the form of an electronic media resource center, kind of like a library, which most offices already have, but more geared toward listening and viewing things rather than just going into a cubicle and poring over boring documents. Now, the simplest thing would be to have an electronic media system which could include videotape, audio tape, and possibly compact disc, since as we're moving into the 1990s, the cost of these is becoming increasingly more affordable. And for what I would consider, and I think the firm itself would consider, a reasonably small upfront cost, you could put a pretty effective, let's call it a listening lab, into place. Now, what the listening lab could do, or could be used for, I have it broken down into professional purposes or business purposes and non-business uses. I don't know, when you checked in, I'm sure you all saw your room bills, or you saw what appeared to me to be a rather large number, in order that all of us could be in one place to get the benefit of this workshop. Now, it's just cost prohibitive to try and bring everybody in the firm together for every lecture or every seminar or every discussion that's ever made on any subject pertaining to the jobs that we do. Every office has experts in certain areas. You have Section 89 experts, you have tax experts, you have benefits experts. These people are constantly doing, giving talks, doing promotions, giving seminars. And I would say that 90% of the time those talks are recorded for one reason or another, even if it's just so that the speaker can go back and listen to it. Why not take those tapes, put them into some kind of library, and make them available to us? And right now I'm just talking about specialists, but I think this could have a valid use for all levels in all practice groups within the firm, from clerical all the way up to the top. So for professional uses, the tapes of seminars, lectures, and innovations, current practices, and different law changes could be circulated or even reproduced and sent out to all the offices at a smaller expense than taking Joe Section 69 expert and sending him to every office to do his demonstration. So you would be able to keep current and up to date on everything that's happening in your specific area of job relation. Also, now we get to the stress part. You've been banging your head against your desk all morning, and the best thing to do would either be to break something or get away from it and do something that would be a little bit relaxing. How many people listen to music to relax? Okay, so if the equipment in this room were not at that time being used for, and when I talk about that time, I'm speaking like your own personal time, maybe for 15 or 20 minutes during your lunch hour, or if you have a scheduled coffee break or something like that, to go in and just put a set of headphones on and listen to anything from Shostakovich to, I don't know, Chicago. Okay, it really does have a soothing effect. Music can put a child to sleep. Music can certainly cure the ills of the day. And you can go back to your desk afterwards with a better frame of mind. Now, as I said, or as I suggested, I feel that this could be beneficial to all practices and to all people in all levels within the practices. Finally, to sum things up, I just want to suggest that in doing these things, in making these things available, you're going to have well-informed people, you're going to have less stressed out people using it to the two ends that I've described. I'd like to suggest that a well-informed person, a well-informed employee, is a more accurate employee, and for lack of a better drawing, I would say that a less stressed employee or a more relaxed employee is a more productive. And when you're more productive, for us, the bottom line is money. And that should make everybody at TPF&C rather happy with your performance. And I think the benefits weighed against the costs certainly make it an attractive, not a cure-all, but a salve, let's say. Okay, I'm going to turn this off and ask for questions. Forget who's going to start. Oh, Mary Frances, right?
Not yet.
Oh.
No.
Are there any questions? I'm sorry. I jumped ahead. Yes.
What is the problem?
I've estimated the cost for a very basic setup to be in the neighborhood of $8,000 to start out. That would be 6 cassette players, 6 compact disc players, 5 video playback and monitor systems, and 20 sets of headphones. Because in a single room environment, you want everybody listening to their own personal thing. You don't want the sound from this blending into the sound of that. The costs break down, I'd say, on an average to about $150 to $200 a piece for the everything except the video playback units. They're a bit more expensive. And then an ongoing maintenance kind of thing, I could see budgeting approximately $2,000 a year to that. Yes.
Where are you suggesting the office?
I'm suggesting for each office, that would probably be up to the office manager, but I think the resources are available, would be available in most offices to set it up.
And the actual materials that, I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
My name's Brian Clays.
Oh, okay, Brian. The actual cost of the materials, like, would it take CPUs, would we be producing these internally, using outside sources, or using commercially available materials? How would that work?
I would think the majority of business-related media would be produced in-house. I mean, I assume that most offices have in-house capabilities for that. I know that New York does. I mean, I know that we produce our own stuff, and from what I've seen, it's good, and it's just not available to everybody to use.
Would there be a certain type of document to go along with some of these seminars? Because I know a lot of the times, even in the seminar, you would have a document to go by, and if you're just listening to it on a cassette tape,
Right.
it would be hard to follow.
Generally, all of these lectures, seminars, and things, the presenter sets them up with overheads, slides, and most of the time those are also reproduced on hard copy as handouts.
Right, I'm sorry, I wasn't-
Okay.